Any future projects you can give hints to?
Well, of course, we're plowing ahead with our friend Parker here, and we actually have all kinds of plans in store for him, but I don't know what we can talk about and what we can't.
Well, I think we can probably talk about maybe what the next book would be.
Sure. Obviously, I'm at work right now on the next Parker book. It's one of my two favorite of all the books, the entire run. It's a story called The Score. And it's fantastic. It's Parker and 11 other guys, a dozen men, go into a town to rob the entire town, take everything. It's a town in a box canyon, and they decide to go in at night and take everything, like the Grinch who stole Christmas. And yeah, it's just an incredible caper book. And it's kind of nice with Parker that we're past his trouble with the mafia and stuff, because now we get into the heists proper, and they're just more interesting and a lot more fun for me. And the characters too. We've got all of Parker's gang in this book, so I get to have a lot of fun with the characters I've been reading about for years. So we're looking at, we still haven't nailed down when that's coming out. We're looking at, summer, I would say, tentatively.
Sometime by the middle of next year. And Darwyn is moving ahead nicely on it.
Yes, actually. I'm into book 2 on that. So there's no worries there. What else? I'm doing a vigilante thing with little James Robinson there. Young James Robinson. I'm not even sure where that's going to place yet, because they heard we wanted to do it, so they said, yeah, do it, but I don't think they've nailed down where they're going to put it yet. And so I'm also working on that. There's stuff about Parker we can't really talk about, but there's been some really exciting things in the last couple of weeks, things we had no idea about that have been kind of unearthed that we're hoping to bring into it. So it's early to talk about it, but we do have a couple really interesting things going on here with Parker. So hopefully, everyone can stay.
And I think it's also safe to say that, initially you were talking about doing 4 full graphic novels.
Oh, so we can go ahead. Yeah, I decided a couple months ago, it's so much fun to work on. We've gone from 4 to 5 books, so we've added another book. We were originally scheduled to do 4 graphic novels. We now have 5 on the I'm not sure I'm ever going to stop doing Parker.
I like that.
I like the notion of that being my thing, like Jordy doing Torpedo or whatever. I would love this to be my licensed character gig, and something that I can go back to, as long as I'm around. So I don't think, once we're past the first 5, I don't think we're just going to keep rolling that way. But I could see after a couple of years missing a guy and wanting to go at it again. So, at this point, I think it'll go as long as I can do, as long as they'll let us.
And you have a license to go on.
I really loved your story you did for the Rocketeer. Is there any chance you might do some more? Because first of all, the book was amazing. Thank you, Scott.
You told me it sucked. So thank you. You told me it was my worst work ever.
You said you wouldn't tell anybody that.
You really gave me shit for that. No, that was funny. Like, the story was a funny little story, and it was, it's a labor of love. And I doubt I'll do another. And I'm just being frank with you. It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight dealing with somebody else's thing. And you find yourself worrying about whether what you're doing is good enough to honor that or live up to it, And Dave Stevens was such a talent. He can't help but feel diminished working in his world. so I did the best I could, but I don't think I got anything else to offer you. I just don't. Wonderful man, and we're lucky that Scott's doing this work. And I did my bit, but I don't. Plus, he doesn't want me back. He wants other guys.
It was a good bit.
I can tell you one thing though. I can tell you that Dave would have definitely loved your story.
Oh, that's all I need to know.
Yeah, and he was the kind of guy who really he liked seeing other people's versions and interpretations of the Rocketeer. I mean, that's why if you look at the book, I mean, Mike Kaluta did layouts, Art Adams did pencils, Sandy Plunkett did pencils, a whole bunch of different guys. So no, he would have loved your story.
And a wonderful guy. I only got to meet him once. And he was so nice to me. This was in San Francisco, maybe 6 years ago, at a show. And, I was in awe of him. And at that point, nobody, I was kind of on the scene, but it wasn't like it is now. And he invited me out to dinner with Jim Steranko, Mike Kaluta, Dave, me, and Bob Burton. And,
It's like a murderer's row.
it was such a special night, to me. Because I'm just like you guys. I grew up reading it, loving it. And I've been doing this for 10 years, but I haven't spent my adult life in comics. So I still have that, oh my God, it's Chuck Dixon. Oh Jesus, it's Jim Steranko. Marshall, what should I wear? Should I say this? Should I say that? So I still feel that way about it. And, Dave really made me feel welcome. So I'll never forget it. How about a happy question about someone who's not dead? I get choked. It's terrible.
Here's a paper question, technical question. Do you like thicker boards that are, I think, nicer to work on, or do you like thinner papers that are easier to throw in like boxes?
I like the thick stuff. I like the thicker stuff. I love the stories, like apparently Steve Ditko's got this like 4-foot stack of those old artboards in his apartment. And it's all his old artwork from Atlas and all the old standard stuff. And he uses them as cutting boards. That's what he cuts on. And when a board's screwed up, he'll throw it away and start cutting on the next. Dumb. Simon and Kirby used to use that illustration board, real illustration board. So yeah, a 68-page comic would be like this big when they would send it to the printer. And yeah, it's like, that's kind of cool to me. And my eyes are getting worse as I get older too. So I find larger work easier. And heavier paper is always better.
Do you have a set size? Do you work larger than many people?
No, I try to mix it up sometimes. It depends on the job. I do Parker, for example, smaller than I would a DC page because the Parker book is smaller. And there are times I'll work a little larger than normal on something where I think there's going to be a lot of detail or a lot of work to put in. And it helps break it up, it helps shift it up. When you're doing this as a living and you're producing a certain amount of work every week, it can make all the difference just changing the size or changing your brush, can just keep you in the game, keep you from. It's a lot of work, it can be intimidating.